Algebra 1, Section 1-4, the distributive property. So we're going to get right into these notes here. Rewrite each expression using the distributive property. So 1-3, we looked at the distributive property briefly. Distributive property. Then simplify. So let's review what the distributive property looks like. So let's do a little example here. And this is 7 times 3w minus 5. So we are going to distribute this 7 to both of these terms. 7 times 3w is 21w. Oh, let's show one extra step actually. I'm going to show how we're multiplying these. So 7 times 3w. So I've got 7 times 3w minus 7 times 5. Okay. Now I'll multiply the 7. So I've got 21w minus 35, and that is your final answer. Okay, let's do some more examples here. So I've got 6v squared plus v minus 3 times 4. So again, we're going to use the distributive property, so it's going to go that way, right? So I'm going to write out this next step. So I'm going to have 4 times 6v squared plus 4 times v minus 4 times 3. Paying attention to these signs in here. Now, 4 times 6v squared is going to give me 24v squared. 4 times v is 4v. And negative 4 times 3, or 3 times negative 4, or 4 times, anyway, here we go. Negative 12. Blah, 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 blah. And that is our final answer. Now, let's have you guys do a couple. So let's have you do 8 plus 4n times 2 and 2 minus 5q times negative 3. So this is times 2, not to the power of 2. Okay, so go ahead and pause and do this work, and then we'll come back and do this together. We'll check your work. Pause now. All right, let's get back together. See how you did. 2 times 8, so I've got 8 times 2 plus 4n times 2, so 4n times 2. And so 8 times 2 is 16 plus 4n times 2 is going to get me 8n. And that is my final answer there. Now let's look at this one. This one's a little bit trickier. So I'm going to take this negative 3, I'm going to multiply it by this, and I'm going to multiply it by this. Make sure I'm using this negative. This negative's got to carry to both of those things. So I've got negative 3 times 2, so negative 3 times 2, minus negative 3 times 5q. All right, let's do this one. Negative 3 times positive 2 gives me negative 6. Negative times a positive is negative. Negative times a negative is positive. Positive times positive is negative. Okay, here we have a negative and a negative 3. So I know that I'm going to have a positive, but I'm going to multiply here first. So minus negative 3 times 5q is going to get me negative 15q. And now I see I've got a negative here and a negative here. Those become positive. So minus 6 plus 15q, or negative 6 plus 15q is my final answer there. All right. Next, we have combine like terms. So, like terms are terms that contain the same variables raised to the same power. All right? Like terms contain the same variables raised to the same power. So let's look at some examples of this. This is something that we're going to be looking at a lot. You can add and subtract like terms. You can multiply any terms you want, but you can only add and subtract terms that are like terms. Same variables raised to the same power. So let's look at an example here. I've got 5x squared plus 2x minus 4. These are not like terms. I have an x, and I don't have any variables. This x is raised to the second power. This x is raised to the first power. These are not like terms. These are unlike terms. These terms are not friends. Let's look at another example. 6a squared plus a squared plus 2a. Now, this time, I've got a squared here, a squared, and a to the first power. So these two terms are like terms. They have the same variable raised to the same power. So these are like terms. I can add these together if I want. And now this term is unlike those guys. Unlike terms. Let's look at one more. And this one we're going to actually add. So I've got b plus 2b plus b squared plus 4b squared. So I'm going to look at this, I'm going to find my like terms, and then I'm going to add them. So I've got b and 2b. Both of these have a b in them, and they are both raised to the same power, which is power of 1. These two here, b squared and b squared, these two are like terms, so I can add these together. These two are like terms, so I can add these two together. This is 1b plus 2b's gets me 3b's plus 1b squared plus 4b squared is going to give me 5b squared. And that is the answer to that expression. That's the simplified version of that expression. Okay, so what you're going to do here, I'm going to give you 3 problems, and you are going to combine like terms, which means add or subtract them. So 6t squared plus 3t minus t, and then 2 more, 6n minus 4n, and 1 more, 4y cubed plus 2y minus 8y plus 5. So find the like terms and combine them. If the terms are not like the other terms, just leave those ones alone and just carry them down into your final expression. Okay, pause now and get started. All right, let's see how you did. For this one, I got t squared. I've got t to the first power and t to the first power. So this one is not like these two, but these two are like terms. So I'm going to keep this 6t squared the way it is, and then I'm going to say 3t's minus 1t is 2t's. So that's positive 2t. Here I have 6n minus 4n. I've got the same variable raised to the same power. So 6n's minus 4n's is going to give me 2n's. And the last one here, y cubed, and then y, and then y, and then no variable at all. So these two are like terms, and the others are not. So 4y cubed, I'm just going to leave that the way it is. There's nothing I can do to it. 2y minus 8y, so if I have positive 2y, and I subtract 8y from it, I'm negative 6y plus 5. That 5 comes along for the ride. There we go. And that was the U try. Hope you guys did well on that. Now I've got one more problem for us to do together, and that is in this review section on the back. What we're going to do is we're going to take 2 times 3x minus y plus 5 times x plus 2y. And we are going to simplify this expression. So if you want to give this a shot and pause now and go ahead and do it, great. If you want to work on it with me without trying first, that's okay too. But here we go. So first I'm going to distribute this 2 here and this 5 here. So 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times y is 2y. And there's a plus here, so plus 2y. Plus 5 times x, which is 5x. And 5 times 2y, which is going to get me 10y. Now I'm looking at this and I see I have some terms that are like terms. So sometimes I'll circle these like terms, and then I'll maybe like take a triangle or something to do the other like terms, and we'll see that more as the chapter progresses. But I can see that this 6x and this 5x are like terms. 6x plus 5x is 11x. And I can see this 2y and this 10y are like terms. 2y's plus 10y's is 12y's. And so my answer, oh, did I do something wrong? Oh, I see what I did. Okay, so there is my answer. On the one I had before, I had a negative here, but I don't need that. Okay, that's it. Great. So that is the end of Algebra 1, 1-4. Good luck on the homework.